the organization DKMS Africa says chances of finding stem cell matches in South Africa are limited. The Sunflower Fund, now known as DKMS Africa, says this is because of the genetic diversity of the population for treatment that seeks a perfect genetic match. DKMS Africa, which is a stem cell donor registry, was part of an event at the Red Cross Children's Hospital in Cape Town to mark International Childhood Cancer Day. Now, let's discuss this further. We are now joined via Zoom by Dr. Theo Gerdener, clinical hematologist at Albert Stem Cell Transplant Center and medical director at DKMS Africa. Welcome to you, Doctor.
Good day. Thank you very much for having me.
Now, Dr. Theo, just how big a gap is there in South Africa as it relates to stem cell donation, and how does this impact the treatment of blood cancer in the country?
Thank you, Nati. So there's a huge problem in terms of that the most stem cell donors registered. Well, let's start by, if I am a patient and I require a stem cell transplant, the chances that one of my full siblings can be a match for me, a full tissue type match, is only about 30%. So the chances are that I'm not going to find a match within my family. And then one needs to go and look at the registries. But the registries have typically been populated by people from Germany and the United States. So the international registries are unfortunately representative of Caucasians and no other populations or peoples in the world. So we have a real need in South Africa with our massive genetic and cultural diversity to expand the capacity of the registries here and to include our own people so as to be able to help our own people. This is especially true of African populations. The registries have very few African donors, and unfortunately the chances of an African patient finding a donor is as little as 20%, whereas for a Caucasian person it goes up to 70%. So there's this massive discrepancy which we would very much like to fix.
And it would seem that the discrepancy lies in the diversity of the races that are actually, the donors. So talk to us about then, what are the requirements to be a stem cell donor, and how does a blood stem cell donation work?
Yes, okay. So to become a stem cell donor today is easier than ever. Mm-hmm. It used to be quite a complex process. Today it is as simple as going on your phone or on your computer, going to the website dkms-africa.org. On the landing page, you will find a big red button that says Become a Donor. And as soon as you click on that, then DKMS Africa will ask you to fill in your details. They will then send a swab kit to your home or place of business, wherever you prefer. And once you've collected the swab, they will pick it up again with a courier. So it is really easy. Because we use these swabs to do tissue typing, which is a type of genetic testing to see who can be a match. It is as simple as swabbing your cheek. There are no more blood tests to do or any other invasive things, so it's painless, it's free, and it's simple. And they will arrange everything for you. Anybody can become a stem cell donor. For the registries, we typically require that a person is between the ages of 18 and 55. That does not mean that a person who is younger than 18 or older than 55 can not donate, but they will usually donate for family members. So in the registries, any person between the ages of 18 and 55, we say that a person should be relatively healthy, but health is a very relative thing in terms of stem cell donation, and we can certainly use you even if you have a chronic illness such as high blood pressure, diabetes. We will often still use those donors. So very few people are actually excluded from donating stem cells. So how the process of stem cell donation works then. So firstly, I need to mention that your chances of becoming a stem cell donor once you've entered the registry are very low. Because there are millions of people in the registry, and your chances of being a full match for an unrelated patient are very little. But should you be the lucky person who gets called upon to donate stem cells, firstly know that by entering your name onto the registry, you do not consent, or it does not force you to donate stem cells once you get selected. So there's always another process where you will be contacted, you will be evaluated in terms of your health status and whether you actually can or want to donate at that stage to save another person's life. If you do consent to donation, you will be evaluated by a medical specialist to see that you are healthy enough to donate and that there's no risk of harm to you. The actual process of donation is very similar to blood donation. So one typically goes to a donation center, which will be provided to you by the registry to be closest to your home or place of work. Go to a donor center, and for a period of between 2 and 4 hours, one donates little bits of blood, which we then remove the stem cells from, and the rest gets put back in your body. So it's probably not even as dangerous as donating blood, because most of the blood goes back afterwards. And it's as simple as that. Sometimes this process can take more than 1 day, so we will do a day 1 and day 2, but that is not the norm.
And of course, the big, question then comes in terms of, finances. Given the scenario with where we are as a country, are there costs involved? And if so, who covers these costs?
There are absolutely no costs involved to a donor. To ensure that a donor is healthy and free of other diseases, a lot of blood tests, sometimes x-rays, cardiac heart tests need to be performed. The cost of all of these tests will either be carried by the recipient or patient and their medical scheme, or it will be carried by the registry itself in certain circumstances. But there will never be a cent required from the donor to pay. The only thing we are asking for is their time.
Dr. Gerdener, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, and please go and register today. We really need all of you.
We'll certainly do. Thank you so much.